Hey Vine family, Matt here. Excited. It is Wednesday of Holy Week. I pray that you are able to use those devotions that we provided you on Sunday or that are available on our website at vinefellowship.com under Holy Week. And you'll find a devotion there that you can print off. But each walking us through just a devotion each day of Holy Week, talking about the I am statements. We pray you and your family are being blessed, being ministered to through that. And so please let me know if you have any questions on that. But with that said, really what I wanted to come to you this morning to do is to invite you to join us Easter morning at 10 a.m. We are going to have our regular service at 10 a.m., our regular time, I should say, on Resurrection Sunday, this coming Sunday at 10 a.m. We're going to celebrate. That's what we're going to do this Sunday. I can promise you. It will be a celebration of the resurrection. And so we're going to sing more songs than we usually do. And my message, just to give you a little spoiler here, will be quite a bit shorter than it usually is because we are here to sing praises to the Lord, to celebrate what He has done. And so in taking our place, what our King Jesus has done for us. And so we're going to do that on Sunday morning. And then immediately after our service indoors, we're going to go outside and we are going to have baptism. Right now, one person's scheduled to be baptized, waiting on a couple more to let me know, but that may happen later. So we're going to have at least one baptism. We are super excited about that. We're going to participate in that baptism and join in as a community of faith, as a family, a church family to witness and to proclaim that Christ is risen through that baptism that we see. And then also we're going to take communion outside immediately afterwards. So we're really excited about what we have planned for Sunday, for Resurrection Sunday. I mean, it is the day, right? I mean, Easter is one of those days that we feel like we have something special to celebrate. Now, we know we get to celebrate every single day the resurrection because the tomb is empty every single day. But there's something special about Easter Sunday. So would you, if you're available, if you are able, will you join us Sunday morning at 10 a.m.? And if you're not able to join us in person, please feel free to join us online. Along with that, this Friday is our Good Friday service. It's a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Good Friday, this coming Friday, so in 2 days, Good Friday service will be a walk-through, reflective service, very much like our Ash Wednesday service. You'll walk through and participate a little bit, do a little bit of reading on your own as you work your way through, and then it'll take 15 minutes of your time. Please join us if you are able. Invite someone else to join us if they are able. It is open from 6 in the evening until 9 that evening. So anytime from 6 to 9, please join us for our walk-through Good Friday service. We'd love to have you. Let me just, as I close up, let me just remind us what we talked about this past week. As we approach Good Friday, as we approach Easter Sunday, let me just remind us, we talked this past week about how Jesus, in mere days before he would crawl on that cross, a week before the resurrection, of course he was fully aware of all of this and that knew this was going to happen. He was lamenting, he was weeping for the lostness of Jerusalem and for the people in that area. And really, we could extend that. He was weeping for and lamenting the lostness of anyone who would reject him, who would fail to see him for who he is. And one thing that we did, we challenged you to think about someone who needs to be reminded of the gospel, or needs to hear the gospel for the first time. Someone who, if we could just put it bluntly, who needs Jesus. Let me just give you a couple of things you can do for those people this week leading up to Easter. And really any week, but this week particularly. Number one, if you have someone in mind, you know someone, maybe the Lord's placed someone on your heart, would you, number one, commit to praying for them the next few days? Intercede on their behalf. Would you just pray that the Lord would step in, that he would open their eyes, that he would soften their heart? That's what needs to be. Maybe they're drifting from God. Maybe they just need to be roped back in. Would you just pray that he would do that he would do whatever necessary to draw them to himself, to reveal himself to them so they would see him for who he is. And let's be honest, if we see Jesus for who he is. We will never want any substitute. We'll never want anything else. And so would you just commit to praying for the people that you know? Maybe it's one, maybe it's more that need Jesus right now. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's someone that you work with, maybe it's just a friend, maybe it's just someone you know through social media, whatever. Would you just commit to prayer? That's number one. And then number two, would you invite them to church Sunday? Look, again, we talked about it last Sunday. Maybe they don't live here. Maybe you can't invite them to our church. Would you just invite them to attend some gospel-believing, preaching church in our area? There are many of those. Would you just point them in a direction of somewhere that they could go on Sunday morning, Easter morning, to hear the gospel presented? And look, we would love to have them here. So if you bring them here, we would love to have them. So if they're able to be here with us, certainly invite them. If not, please point them and invite them to go to somewhere to gather with the saints on Sunday morning as the gospel is proclaimed and as we can celebrate as the church, not just a little church, but the big church, as we celebrate collectively the resurrection. Pray for them, invite them to church. Would you do that? You have 4 or 5 days left before Easter Sunday. Would you do that for the next few days? And just, we trust the Lord in that, but would you do that? Because we know Jesus cares for the lost. Jesus cares for the souls of the lost, and we should too. So would you join me and our church and other churches around, I'm sure, intervening for those people and just doing what we can to point them to Jesus, who is our only hope. So let me just tell you, we are excited about Holy Week. We're excited about opportunities to worship this week. We are excited about seeing you Friday night if you're able, and Sunday to worship and celebrate the resurrection. So we will pray that you will be able to join us that day. So until then, go in peace and have a great week.